Welcome to my tutorials on karaoke building using Karaoke Builder Studio. A few points I would like to cover first of all is where one should start in organizing to be prepared to have a successful working of the program. I'm assuming at this point that you have already installed Karaoke Builder Studio. The first thing I would like to suggest is that you set up your project files. Under the Karaoke Builder Studio program folder, which should be installed on your C drive, not in your program files folders. Typically, this is the best location for Karaoke Builder Studio to be installed. That is installed by default to your C drive or your main hard drive on your internal computer, internal hard drive. The Karaoke Builder Studio folder will contain subfolders called FX, Help, Projects, and Templates. I have added a few other folders as you can see in this picture, but your main folders when you install a program is FX, Help, Projects, and Templates. The other files within that main Karaoke Builder Studio are files which are required to run the program. Let's begin first of all by setting up our folders for projects. For this tutorial purpose, I have created a folder called Projects 2. You can keep using the Projects folder that comes with the program when it is installed. For this tutorial, as I said, I created this other projects folder to show you my recommended setting of folders for projects. So in your project folder, you should have set it up with subfolders named according to the song that you're going to be working on. In this instance, I have chosen George Strait's Down Louisiana Way for this tutorial. This is the main subfolder under Karaoke Projects folder. In this project folder, I have created three other subfolders. The first one is called Bins, which will contain your completed bin projects. Original files, which should contain all your original MP3 music files. And thirdly is the working files folder. Your working files folder should contain your WAV files, which would be converted, the MP3s which have been converted to WAV file format. You will discover that Karaoke Builder Studio only works well when you're working with a WAV file format. So although you can begin to use the MP3s, it will not create bin files unless the music files are in WAV format. So to avoid any frustrations further, it is advised that you convert your MP3s in your original files folder to WAV files and move those WAV files converted into your working files folder. The other file that you should have within your working files folder is your lyrics text. I used Notepad to place my lyrics text in. There are two methods by which you can create or have a lyrics text file, and I'll show you both ways within the program. So once again, the ideal situation is under your projects folder, create your main song folder, such as George Strait Down Louisiana Way, and within there, those three other subfolders: bins, original files, and working files. Now once you have this set, it's time to begin by opening up the program itself. I will begin a new project by clicking the New button. This now clears everything that I had previously loaded within the program. The first thing you want to do is to load your lyrics, and that would be found by clicking this button here. Says loads lyrics from a text file. Clicking on load, you would browse to the folder, typically your working files folder, and select the lyrics text. Another way that one can go about this is, if you don't have a text file, you can play back the music with the vocals, and you can literally type in your lyrics within this area here. This is where your lyrics text will show when you begin this program. As an example, I'm going to retype this line, and the second line, now this is just to show you as an example. You can create your own text file within the program itself. Just as I was showing you, you can type in the lyrics. When you are creating your own lyrics text file, once you have it all typed out, you can save it by clicking the export button. The export will save the lyrics as a text file. By clicking there, I'm saving it to exported text, being prompted to overwrite what I already have, and there is my text file. So there again, there are two ways. You can either physically type it in and export it as a text file, or you can load an existing text file. That is for your lyrics. Now the next step is to load in your audio file. By clicking audio towards the center button, you can choose your audio file that you want to work with. It is advisable to have a audio file that has the vocals in it, which I refer to as the guide vocals file. So loading up your guide vocals file into the program. Once again, you must be using a WAV file to begin with, because it will not convert an MP3 file when you come to the final stages of your creation. So once your audio file is selected, your text file is imported, the next setting will be your styles. Your styles are related to the template that you will load. When it comes to templates, there are several options available to you. You can use an existing Karaoke Builder Studio template, which is the basic, default, a default, and a few others that come with the program. And I will select one of them to show you what you can do with your templates. As you'll see, I've loaded up this one particular template that came with Karaoke Builder Studio. This first setting here has to do with a default for your lyrics. The other default is for the male part of any lyrics. The third choice is for the female part of lyrics, and other would be, as an example, if you're going to have a duet that you're working on, you might use this other to color the lyrics where both singers are singing. Now, each one of these defaults, males, females, or others, these colors can be changed, as well as the screen background, the screen border, the main text color, the outline of that text, the color that is going to be used to wipe the text as it's playing or is being sung, and the outline to that wiping of the text. To show you how you can create your own template, you can change the colors for each section. You can change the colors for default, the colors for male, the colors for female, lyrics, and colors for other. To change each one, you need to have each one obviously selected. As an example, with the default, I'm going to go with a black background. This bar here along the top with all these various squares of different colors, these are what you would use to choose which color for each area. As an example, I'm going to change my screen to a black. All I need to do is to drag, select it, and click on it. There, I have my screen and my border now set as black. My text I'm going to leave as white with a black outline. Now the text will be wiped in a different color, and I'm going to choose to change this color to a red as an example. By changing my color palette to red, I now simply slide that to the text wipe, and it will automatically change the text wiping to the red. I prefer not to have an outline, so I am going to change the outline wipe to black. There I have set my default lyrics colors. For my male singing, and typically your default and your male will be the same. The other thing that should be set is your wipe text. Under this setting here, I would set it to wipe text. The next thing to do is now to take your default, because you may want to have your default and your male to be the same. You would copy it to the male. To change it back to the male, just double click on there and type in male. Now I have both the default and the male settings exactly the same. The female settings I'm going to change now as well. I'm going to change the female settings to the white with a black outline. The wiping I'm going to keep the same as I have on the male, and it will be wiped to red, and there will be a black outline. For other, I am going to change the text to a green. The outline will be black. The text wiping, I'm going to maintain the same as in the others, and the outline wipe will be black. Once I have chosen all my colors, the next step is to choose the font. Whatever fonts you have installed on your system, Karaoke Builder Studio will automatically import them and make them available for you to choose. In this instance, it has in the original template that I imported, it has it set to Arial. I can change anything that I want for fonts. And as an example, I've selected Arial. The size is now set at 14 and it is in bold. I can increase the size if I prefer. And to see how difference it makes, you click on the sample text onto the left side and you will see it change. As an example, the default is what you should start with. The male, each lyric part can be adjusted for size. Now I have my text, wiping, colors, and font and size of that created. Basically, now I have created a new template. So I will now save this template by clicking the Save button next to the template load. It will now prompt me for a name for this template, and I will change it to, well, in this instance, tutorial. Well, my fingers are not working. Alright, now I will click Save. And now this is saved and it could be brought up at any time. So once again, once you have your track, your basic track components, that being the lyrics and your audio file, imported and inserted, your styles are now set according to your template. The next one to concern yourself with is the settings. Your settings detail level can be either finest, which will give a better quality, but may cause problems with you using a fast track. I find that the good gives you a better overall quality of track, unless of course you are working on a very fast track, then you would select the fast wiping. Keep in mind that these detail levels are also going to be influencing your template, so that when you have these chosen, your template will reflect these settings. That is the detail level. We are going to choose good level. As far as margins are concerned, they can also be adjusted. I prefer to have 0 on the left, 0 on the right, which allows me more room for my lyrics. The top I would have set at 2 for spacing, and the bottom spacing again I would set to 2. Now going back, I will save these as part of the template. Now the next thing to go to will be the actual syncing of the lyrics to the music, and I will cover that in the next part of this tutorial.